Hello, lately I bought the Polyend Synth, and in itself the Polyend Synth is a very nice synthesizer with all kinds of features to play the internal synth engines with its pads. But actually the Polyend Synth is a 3-part multitimbral synthesizer. So today I want to integrate that into my DAW setup with the Maschine Plus as the main controller and sequencer of my setup. But I still want to be able to use the pads of the Polyend Synth 2 as a controller. First, the external connections. The audio output of the Polyend Synth is connected to the audio input of the Maschine Plus, so audio can be routed and mixed inside the Maschine Plus. And for the MIDI communication, the USB output of the Polyend is put into the USB input of the Maschine Plus. So the two are able to communicate through USB MIDI with each other once we set all the settings right. Okay, first let's set all the settings on the Polyend Synth right. Therefore we click on the main encoder, go to the synth settings, and here we have to set all parts to a different MIDI channel communicating through USB MIDI. The first one is already set to USB channel 1, but the second one we will set to USB channel 2, and the third one we will set to USB channel 3. Then you see that the local mode is on, but we want to disconnect the pads from the internal synth engines, so we set the local mode to off. This way the Maschine Plus gets total control of the Polyend, and while we want to play the pads that won't play the internal engines directly, but pass through the USB cable into the Maschine Plus and via the Maschine Plus back to the synth engines of the Polyend Synth. Now that we have set up the Polyend Synth, we have to set up the Maschine Plus. First we go to settings to check if all the hardware is communicating right. So at the audio tab we check if the audio interface is set to internal, so it listens to the internal audio inputs. Then we go to the MIDI tab to check if the MIDI interface of the Polyend Synth is activated. On the input devices you can see that there's a MIDI device that's called Synth MIDI 1. That's the Polyend Synth MIDI interface, and it should be set to on. The same goes for the output devices. Now the Polyend Synth can communicate through MIDI via USB, both as an input and an output device. Now we have to assign the different parts to the different pads or sounds in the Maschine Plus. On group A are my drums, so I go to pad mode, group A, there's my drums. Group B will get the 3 Polyend Synth parts. On pad 1 I want to set up part 1 of the Polyend Synth. On pad 2 I want to set up part 2 of the Polyend Synth. On part 3 I want to set up part 3 of the Polyend Synth. And I want to route the audio into group B to mix it with the other sounds of the machine. First I go into pad mode, then I select the first pad, then I go to channel, and on the input tab there's my audio source, and I make sure that it is on in 1, left and right, so the audio is routed from the Polyend Synth to pad 1 and can be mixed with all the other sounds of the Maschine Plus. Next I switch to the MIDI page, and on pad 1 I select Synth as my MIDI input and channel 1 as my MIDI channel input, the MIDI channel on which the data for pad 1 will be received. On pad 2 I set it to Synth and channel 2, and pad 3 I will set it to Synth and channel 3. So now when I play the pads on the Polyend Synth, the blue ones will go to pad 1, the yellow ones will go to pad 2, and the purple ones will go to pad 3. Next I go to the output tab and I select pad 1 again. And here I select the Polyend Synth as the MIDI interface again. I will do the same for pad 2, but then on channel 2, and on pad 3 on channel 3. Now all the connections and all the settings should be in place. So let's see if we can play. First I select sound 1, put it into keyboard mode to make this a controller. I did put a bass sound in part 1, so I have to set it an octave lower. Yes, it works. Let's select sound 2, put it in keyboard mode again, octave higher this time. Yes, it's working. Now select sound 3. Nice. Let's play some more. Very nice. Now we can start making music. We have integrated Polyend Synth into the setup with Maschine Plus. And you don't need a Maschine Plus for this. You can do the same on an MC1 or in your DAW or an Archive Force or whatever you are using. As long as your tracks correspond to the correct MIDI channels of the Polysynth. Thank you for watching so far. And if you liked it, well, please like and subscribe. I just started out this YouTube channel, so leave a comment about what you would like to see next and maybe I will make a video about it. Okay, thank you, goodbye.